Even though the NBA delayed it, we now know who the 2025 MVP is, and it's SGA. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
What's going on, basketball fans? Welcome to another episode of NBA Central, your number one spot for everything basketball related. We got Stevo, myself, Haize, in the building today. And Stevo, one of the most debated MVP seasons in recent memory has been this season. SGA, Nikola Jokic. Jokic, who had admittedly one of his best, if not one of the all-time best NBA seasons statistically, was not able to win it. It goes to SGA. I already know it's already been a hot and debate among sports fans, but how you feeling about SGA winning the MVP?
I just always said it goes down who's gonna win the series, and when I found out who won the series, I was like, there go my answer. They both was both deserving of being the MVP. They both had career years, great years to talk about. Some we're gonna talk about for years to come. But when it came down to it, I knew it was going to be more recency bias than what's going on right now. And SGA got the last laugh, and then you see what he did last night and completely thrashing in the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I knew it was just obviously you got to give it to the person that beat the person that's right that they're going head to head and neck with. So when it came down to it, once that final buzzer went off and I saw who won the series, I knew who was going to win. So well deserved. Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a great season from both these guys, man. I love it when you can have a legitimate conversation about who should win an award, and you can make it to either or, right? You can make a conversation for either guy. And so, I mean, he wins the MVP. It is what it is now. He had a great season. He was the runner-up last year for the MVP. This felt like it's been a long time coming for SGA. And it's still going to be debated, right? And I think that adds something to what this season has been. The fact that this season and who should have won MVP is going to be debated for quite a while. The debate isn't going to go away just because it happened and it's over with now. There are going to be people who are debating this for years and years to come. Jokic, who already talked about this being his best season. He feels like it's his best season, and it was in a lot of ways. Like, Jokic is still having an amazing season, but team success does play a role and a part into this. Let me ask you this: Are these the two that you expect to be battling out for MVPs for the next couple of years? Do you think it's going to be somebody else who gets in there sooner rather than
I
later?
will hope it will be some others because I'm kind of getting sick of it constantly being non-American.
Mm.
This is another non-American that won the MVP with him being Canadian. So I'm hoping next year is finally the year that Edwards cracks through that surface and he's able to join that conversation, as well as some other American players. I don't know who that may be, whether that's a Jalen Brunson or whoever, Tyrese Halliburton, whoever. Like honestly, I just want. Will it be? Most likely. I don't see Jokic getting worse, and I don't see Shea getting worse. They're only going to get better. So yeah, they're going to be in the conversation along with Giannis, who's third in this conversation. But yeah, I'm just hoping it's somebody else, and more importantly, it's from somebody from my country.
Yeah, and I mean, it's crazy enough to say. I love that you brought up Giannis because in some seasons, Giannis would have had enough to be able to win MVP too, even with the up
Yeah.
and downness of the season that the Milwaukee Bucks had. I do, like you said, I do hope somebody like a Anthony Edwards, and I'm not as much as it on you. I don't care if it's American or not. I care about the play on the basketball court, but I think that you do want to see somebody else step up and it not just be the same two or three people in the conversation every single year. And that goes back to the NBA needing to make new stars, man. It's something that they've kind of dropped the ball on for quite a while at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, I think it does have something to do with it being American being a part of it because it's just hard to put a lot of focus and make a lot of people care, especially from America, about somebody that's not from here. Like, of course, they're gonna get his just due based on how good they are, like a Luca, like a SGA, like a Giannis. But at the end of the day, like, imagine if, like I said, if Ant won it. Imagine if like somebody Jalen Brunson in his market in New York, if he won it. Like I just think that will it would show that it was turning the tide of that these people overseas are just completely killing us when it comes to preparing us to be ready for the league, and I think that's glaring overall conversation when it comes to MVP. The best players in the world are starting to be from over there, and why is that the issue? I think it's a deeper conversation we are starting to have. Like it's an AAU problem, it's a young person problem, it's a college problem. Like it's a lot
It's a
of things.
coaching problem.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
coach.
a lot
Yeah,
that's going into that. Like you think when you look at like foreign players now, like they still are taught the fundamentals. The fundamentals are going away, bro. Like
yeah,
it's crazy to say, man, and it's unfortunate, but that is where the sport of basketball is right now. And yeah,
and,
and
and,
I always
and
say I say it like this: people say that Steph Curry killed the NBA with all the 3-point shooting, and I don't say that. The way that I look at it as people trying to replicate what Steph Curry did
mhm.
without having the skill of Steph Curry is what ruined it to where all the 3-point shooting and all that type of stuff where it's just run down the court to get a 3-point shot. Like, where's the fundamentals at? Like, you saw a team, for example, like the Boston Celtics. I know they had the injuries, but one of the reasons that they were struggling in that series, they stopped attacking the paint. You
Yeah.
got to be able to do that type of shit.
And that's the reason why I feel like SGA and people like Jokic, they win MVPs because they understand that. It's funny that the conversation today about yesterday's game is the foul discrepancy, but I feel like the reason why it happened that way is because of the way they played.
Mm-hmm.
SGA and the rest of that team attacked the basket consistently and constantly. What did Minnesota do? Shoot all day. They shot 51 threes. That's not going to convey to the to the refs that you're trying to be aggressive and I'm going to the line. So when you go to the line versus with SGA going to the line, he's going to the line more frequently than everybody else on that Minnesota Timberwolves team.
Yeah.
And that goes back to fundamentals. You stop trying to live and die by the three. Y'all not the motherfucking Warriors.
Yep. I mean, hey, that's just unfortunately where the game is right now. But to bring it back to this, let me ask you this, Steve-O. Is this with this MVP? Because I think this is why the NBA delayed it. Had the Thunder lost the series to the Denver Nuggets and SGA was announced as the MVP, had they, because usually the MVP is announced first week of May. Had they announced it when they usually do, and then they would have turned around and lost to the Nuggets, would that have put a blemish at all on the MVP for you?
Yeah.
It would have.
And because a lot of people like to play the deserve game, but I feel like you earn it. And I feel like if it's something like that, like in some cases, it's a runaway. Like when Steph Curry won his first MVP, it was a runaway. When Shaq won certain, it was a runaway. But certain MVPs goes down all the way to damn near to the conference finals. And if it comes down to it, you should allow the best player in the results of the best of the results of the team and the results of the players of the game. That should determine the factor of the MVP. I feel like that's the first time I've seen in recent years they allowed that to do it. Even though, like, not to say allowed it to do it, it's just the first time it kind of presented itself. Because a lot in the latter, I've said in the latter years, we kind of already knew who the MVP was going to be,
Yeah.
except that year when it was Embiid and Joker that year.
Yeah. No, I feel where you're coming from with that. This has been, and it is good to have an MVP race again, man. Like this whole season, literally since I would say about January is when the conversation started on, is it going to be SGA? Is it going to be Jokic? Their head-to-head matchups meant more when that happened as well. And it went back to the old school where it's like, it's this run up to MVP that leads to the interactive part about it because we're all talking about it as sports fans. Whereas in the last few years, it's like, oh, we know who's going to win the MVP. Like we're not even really talking about it leading into it. Now, while some of you crazy motherfuckers are taking that conversation left, because I tell y'all what, I ain't gonna be getting. We on the channel ain't gonna be getting called too many more monkeys. I can tell you that much because I'm gonna start going off on people.
We had to deal with that once before. We ain't doing it twice.
I'm not doing it again, bro. It was already bad enough to have to do it with Kai Soto. I'm not doing it with MVP conversation.
I'm not.
Doing it.
I'm not.
I tell you that right now.
But Soto.
This comes after the Thunder win one against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Do you see this as it's just a foregone conclusion? Do you think the Minnesota Timberwolves still have a chance to get in that series, or do you think it's just going to be the Thunder going to the finals?
No, I feel I 100% believe. Don't get me wrong. Did OKC have a hell of a game? I would even say they had a hell of a game. I say SCJ had a game. 31 points, 10 for 27, 11 for. He went to the foul line a hell of a lot, so that controlled the game a lot of the times. And they just made timely shots. But when it came down to it, the reason I felt like they lost the game was simply it just wasn't a good game plan. You kept shooting. It wasn't necessary for this team to keep shooting. Minnesota, I should say, to keep shooting. 51 threes from this team with the amount of talent on this team that can attack the basket, especially you get a performance like what Randall gave you last night. You can't waste a 28, 8, and 9 and 13 performance on Randall.
Yeah. That's
so, like, with Randall playing the way he been playing this playoffs, they still have a chance if they just play a different way. I don't feel like if they knock down 33s, not knocked down. They get up about 35 threes. I'm cool with it, but 51, that was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that, and then like Ant not having any points in the fourth quarter, like it was a lot that went down the stretch of that game. And after Minnesota started off the game pretty damn well, they had the lead at halftime. They let it slip away, and you got to learn in those moments. Ant has even talked about how he needs to be better at moving off ball and things in that series. I think that's going to be a really important part if they want to get in this series. So we shall see. But yeah. Anything left, Steve, before we get up out of here?
No.
All right, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. SGA is the 2025 MVP. We'll see what happens going forward into the rest of the series, man. Let us know what you guys think down below. We'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the